What's up? Have I got a review for you guys? This is a cracker. 267 views. Oh, he just plays music throughout. Alright, that's no good. Why is there music in all of these dog shit reviews? Give me something to look for review videos of. Thinking of something really shitty and boring. What about a review of crisps?
San Nicasio or Nicasio, it's got this really nice purpley foil font on there. I got it from Waitrose and it cost a lot of money. This was £3 for 150 grams. That works out as £20 per kilogram. Does that make this the most expensive crisp ever? what I believe is called San Nicasio or San Nicasio. They are hand-cooked, extra virgin potato chips, patatas fritas. There's other words on there, and I think they could be Spanish. I'm not seeing what.
It fucking says España on there. Look, I love my country. I do. And I love my people. But this lad is the archetypal English moron when it comes to anything foreign. Patatas fritas, elaboradas exclusivamente con aceite de oliva virgen extra y sal rosa del Himalaya. That would say to me, crisps with extra virgin olive oil and Himalayan salt. What is wrong with you, son? I think it's from Spain. It says España on it, lad.
Casio or San Nicasio. They are hand-cooked, extra virgin potato chips, patatas fritas. There's other words on there, and I think they could be Spanish.
For anyone wondering how Brexit happened, I don't believe this guy is adamant either way. I don't think he's... Oh. I genuinely don't think he's specifically one way or the other. I don't really care about politics. That's most British people. We're not a very political people. You go to America, go to a lot of other countries, France. You see a lot more people concerned with politics. British people don't really care. They're very insular. He's looking at Spanish, a very close neighbour to us. Spanish is not an invisible language in the UK. It's not like he's looking at Hungarian and saying, I don't know what that is. Fair enough. I've been to Hungary, I've seen what the language looks like, I'm curious about this kind of things, but it's not commonplace. But to see Spanish and not recognise it, given that it's probably, I'd have to look this up, but outside the UK, I would say Spain is arguably the most popular holiday destination. Easily. And this lad sees Spanish words written down, doesn't see them as being anything that he recognises. To him, it's a mystery. You think the Dutch are very similar? No, I disagree, Casby. You've got to understand, for the average English person, foreigners are something that happens to other people. It does not equate in any way, shape, or form. They may as well not exist. Oh, no, I don't need that. Like, they are a mystery. Yeah, I think I may have mentioned this on the Triforce podcast at one time as something that we could talk about. I think that if you want to talk about bodies of water that were, and I'm not talking about oceans, I'm talking relatively small bodies of water that at a human level, from early days till now, have shaped history in a major way. The Nile is obviously a huge body of water. The foundation of Egypt, a huge empire lasted for thousands of years. The Nile shaped humanity, and certainly, if I remember rightly, was probably somewhere where humanity first began, right? There's a whole bunch. You could list a whole bunch of them. I'm going to tell you right now. The English Channel, or the Channel, if you want to call it that, I'm telling you right now, shaped the world probably more than most other bodies of water. And I'll explain my reasoning. Number one, isolated the British Isles from the rest of Europe. No doubt in my mind we would have been conquered by the French, or someone else would have conquered us, probably the French. But that bit of water stopped them being able to do it easily. Prevented the Germans rolling in here in World War II. Right? Those are two very distant historical facts. But let's look at it again. It allowed a separate culture to grow there, separate from everybody else. It meant that the Romans had to come here by boat. Right? The Normans did come across, but that was in the 1000s, right? So that was like the 11th century. And when you say we got conquered loads, we got invaded a lot, but that was in the early days. The moment we got a navy, the Spanish couldn't invade us, the French couldn't invade us, and it allowed us to become arguably the most influential empire of modern times. You can go around the world and see the effect that the English Empire, the British Empire had on the world. You're thinking too far back. And also, that invasion, it did happen, but this was when England, at that point, was nothing. It was nothing. It wasn't even one country. It was like a bunch of little patchwork countries, and yeah, we were conquered, but in terms of the effect that we had as a colonial power, as an exploration, ruling the waves, that came about because we built a navy in response to the Normans, the Vikings, the threat of the Spanish, the threat of the French. So I honestly think, I mean, you can look into this any way you like. There's no doubt in my mind that an awful lot of modern history came down to that body of water separating us from other people. That's a huge deal. That is a huge deal. Really. So anyway, that's my feeling about it. But it also means that because of it, we've always felt separate from Europe. Whereas other European countries, presumably, do not feel that separation that we do. We definitely feel, I already mentioned D-Day, we definitely feel that separation and that they're not us, they're different. That's definitely a thing. Like, I'm sorry, but that's definitely a thing. Right, back to the vid. I mean, this lad is the archetypal, right? I doubt you'd find anyone in France. Very hard place to find someone in France who doesn't recognize Spanish. I'm pretty sure that if you took that to most people in France and said, what language do you think this is? They'd say, it looks like Spanish to me. You can show this lad, who's walking around buying crisps in Waitrose. Oh, it might be Spanish. I'm not saying he's the smartest fucking lad in the world. But to us, this is gibberish. Dunno, mate. And that's fine. And I don't think it's necessarily because he's thick or lack of education. I think it's just seen as acceptable to know fuck all about Europe.
I'm not seeing what they say. I can see what it says, but I can't read it because I don't speak that language. Right, yeah, £3, like I said in the intro, 150 grams. This is, look, listen guys, this isn't a small bag, and that's not that much more expensive than the premium brands like Tyrrell's and Kettle Chips.
My lad, I rest my case.
You're so disgusting.
So yeah, interesting. I'll be interested if any of that extra virgin flavour comes through. There's some awards here from like Brussels, or is it like Good Business Award for many years running, stuff like that. I can't get into it. I can't get into it. I'm gonna have to break the foil like this, I think.
I hate doing that.
Yeah, unusual way of opening a bag.
Crisp manufacturers, sort your shit out. You know what they should have is a little tab that you pull and it opens up the top of the bag.
Crisp, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. It had loads of air packed into it. That was good, I suppose. Save. Smells good. Although I will say it doesn't smell brilliant. This is just. No, they're not easy to open.
His girlfriend has sex with that man. A belching man who doesn't even recognize the Spanish language. And she chose him. Lads, there's someone for everybody.
To be fair, I've just had to like basically cut into it with my hands. Right, there you go. Right, there is a good look at the.
Oh, that's a good looking crisp. I've actually had these.
Very
I did
yellow.
Also get them in Waitrose.
They're very yellow actually. I don't know if you can see that next to my face, but they're like neon. It's like neon yellow next to my face. They do smell good.
That's because you're pasty English, mate, like the rest of us.
They smell a bit like Carver crisps. Is it Carver? Those is it Indian vegetable ones? Right, let's give it a go. It looks very.
I know what he means.
I mean, it's translucent from all the oil.
I think he means cassava. Yeah, he means the cassava. Which are, to be fair, this is what cassava chips look like. They're very good. They're much, much crisper than potato. Cassava crisper, it's almost too crispy, but they're very good. They don't, yeah, that's his face. That is his sex face.
They're very thin, with a really nice light texture. Like they're not.
I could murder
very
that
nice.
bag of crisps right now.
They're not like hard, like kettle cooked ones. In fact, I really like the texture. They're crisp and brittle, rather than hard and crunchy. Delightful texture. You can feel the oil coming out of them. That's not a bad thing. Nice earthy potato flavour. They are merely lightly salted. In fact, I'd take a bit more salt, a bit more sea salt on there, and I think they'd be really insane. I don't think I've ever had a crisp so thin and so light. They're really brittle, which is a really nice thing about them.
That is an unpopular opinion. What don't you like about kettle chips? I mean, I think they're it's a little overstated now, the whole kettle chips thing, as like a premium brand. They are better than Walker's in terms of the quality of the crisp. They're a little thicker, better flavours. Obviously, they cost more, but I doubt that. I mean, they're seen as like a premium, a sort of premier brand, aren't they? But I don't see anything wrong with them. I think they're good crisps. What's your go-to crisp then? I mean, Tyrrell's I think are another level, but for me, the Tyrrell's vegetable chips, as they're called, I think they're called vegetable chips or vegetable crisps. They are next level good. Really, really, really like those. So yeah.
They are very, very, very good quality. I will say that, but I will say they're probably not the best crisps I've ever had, and they're maybe not more mind-blowing than just other really good ones. So maybe they're not quite worth the cost, but...
Right. I'm looking at knickknacks. I'm seeing McCoys. I'm seeing Roysters. These are all the wrong answers. These are all wrong answers.
Because of their lightness and the really good flavour, and you can tell they're really good quality, I think they'd be really good on a buffet if you're trying to impress someone. Why not?
If I'm trying to impress someone, I always think, all right, everyone, this is a big meeting. All right, the future of the company is riding on this. Everyone clear on that? Because if we don't seal this deal, we're in big fucking trouble. The shareholders are going to have our fucking asses in a fucking bag of chips, and they're going to chuck it out for the pigeons and the seagulls to eat. That's what we're looking at. Now, I want this buffet to be absolutely bussin', as the kids say. What are we going to get? Yes, Smithers. What about some really good crisps? You're fired. Anyone else got any ideas?
Impress someone with a
She's not a bad-looking girl. She's with this monster.
really soft
Yeah.
crisp.
If you got your boss over and you're like, oh, and don't mention it, just be like, put them on there.
Have a crisp.
Yeah, you put them.
One of these crisps.
Yeah, no, well, no, I wouldn't even do that. I'd have them out on there, and then I'd let my boss go.
Bob, you weren't watching earlier, mate. He was like, "Brrr," in the middle of a fucking review.
And I'd know, even from the look on their face. Well, I know that I'd done a good job. Just from that expression, but I'd honestly expect them to go, wow, these crisps are so light. And then that's when you act nonchalant. You're like, oh yeah, they're fantastic, Chris. Yeah, I've been getting them for years, sort of thing.
But Bob, I'm not doing a 6-minute review vid. He had 6 minutes, 39 seconds. He started the video with a belch. Like the 30 seconds in. And his missus is there and she's like, you are disgusting. He hadn't even eaten anything.
And then your boss would be like, wow, they clearly understand and recognise great things when they see it.
Also, he saw... Bob, just to wind back a sec. Here is him looking at the crisp packet.
Reviewing what I believe is called San Nicasio or San Nicasio. They are hand-cooked extra virgin potato chips, patatas fritas. There's other words on there, and I think they could be Spanish.
There's other words on there, and I think they could be Spanish. What does it say at the bottom there? España. All that language is clearly Spanish. Clearly Spanish. He's got no idea. There's other words on there. You got me, mate. No idea. These are the guys that go on game shows, and you're screaming at the TV. It's Spanish, you idiot! I don't know, German? Don't know, mate. No, German?
That's how I would envision that going. Yeah, or try and impress a potential loved one, someone that you want to have relations with.
You ain't impressing me.
Huh?
You ain't impressing me.
Fuck yeah, love.
Well, let's try, shall we? No.
Nah,
They're not for her. Nah.
Claire's not impressed. I am, but they are fairly expensive. Alright, for a special occasion or on a buffet, or they'd work well as a replacement to chips or something. On with a high-end hot dog or something like that. If you don't want
I'm subscribing to this, lad.
Chips. Maybe something like that. Solid 4 stars.
What else have you got for me, buddy? What else have you got for me? High-end. If you're looking to impress someone with a high-end hot dog or something like that. Oh, that's so good. That is so good. Oh, we found a new one. We found one. This guy and the pen guy. What else have we got? Gravy crisps. What the fuck are Sainsbury's doing? I sense
Turkey gravy flavour crisps. Is this not just going to be like a roast turkey flavour crisp? Because is this a cop out? This feels weird.
I don't want to skip the music. Skip the music.
Hello everyone, welcome to Food Review UK. My name's MJ. Yeah, this is called turkey gravy flavour crisps, and it's from Sainsbury's.
What if his name is Michael Jackson, and he's decided to go by MJ to avoid people making the association with Michael Jackson? But MJ was what Michael Jackson called himself as well. I like that it proclaims it's made with British turkey. Does that matter? correct me if I'm wrong, and just bear with me here. I'd like you to respond in chat. You are from America, aren't you? You are from the United States of America, aren't you, Eris? I'll wait before I continue. Have you ever been to America? I'm going to presume you have. Because having been there as a foreigner, it is impossible to walk 2 feet without seeing America! America! This is made in America! 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 On everything. So, he's got British Turkey on there. You cannot fucking move for flags or America in America. You don't notice it. You don't notice it the same way that those of us living in a house where there's a stain on a carpet, you stop noticing it after a while. I'm telling you right now, yes, absolutely, there's no need to slap British Turkey in massive letters on this bag of crisps.
From Sainsbury's, part of that.
Right? There's no need. Made with British Turkey, there's no need. I'm telling you right now, bud, take a look around America next time you're there, which I think is right now. Go to the shop, go to anywhere. And tell me how often you see people rubbing in your face, America, buddy! America! We put British Turkey on crisps and you're losing your shit!
Their taste the difference range. I think the packaging is great, first and foremost. And it sounds incredible. Somehow, it sounds more interesting than roast turkey. But I don't know if I'm just about to get tricked and it is just simply roast turkey flavour. Let's check it out.
That is a fair question.
Do we have any kind of explanation of what it is? Hand cooked crisps with turkey gravy flavour seasoning. It does have cooked turkey powder in. So
now I'm going to be honest with you. Turkey gravy is shit because turkey doesn't have any fat in it. It has no fucking flavour. So I'm sure there are turkey farms in the UK. We eat a lot of turkeys here at Christmas. Pretty sure that people would have cottoned onto that and made a fucking turkey farm. I've never seen a turkey farm in the UK, but I live in London, so I'm not going to say there's no turkeys in the UK. I've never seen any at Twickenham anyway. I'm sure there are turkey farms in the UK. Let's Google it. Bernard Matthews, I'm sure. Bramble Farm turkeys, Copper's traditional turkeys, Surrey turkeys. There's one in Surrey. Turkey farming in the UK. There are 3 main commercial farming systems for rearing turkeys in the UK. Indoor, pole barns and free range. 11 million turkeys were slaughtered in the UK for meat. How about that? Turkeys. Turkey's dog shit. We had chicken at Christmas. It was fucking great. Oh yeah. Two blocks lives 2 minutes from a turkey farm. No, it's Saturday night. I watched a film with the family, and then we watched Masked Singer, and now I'm going to scav queue, and between scav queue times, I'm going to react to review vids because I enjoy watching them and wasting all of your evenings, and that's what I'm going to do. And I've died a lot in Tarkov lately, so I need to make some money and I'm going to chill. Oh shit, there's a comet. Hold on. The green comet. A green-hued comet from the outer solar system is set to swing through Earth's neighborhood in the coming days for the first time in 50,000 years. February 2nd. Hell yes. You can see it with the naked eye. You'll wait till next time. That's fair. The brightness of comets can be unpredictable. When scientists first discovered the object last year, they knew only that it had potential to be visible from Earth. Because each comet is its own living being, you don't know how it's going to react until it passes the sun, says Dr. O'Rourke. Comet C/2022 E3 ZTF made its closer. What happened to naming him something good? What's maximum overdrive time? I don't know what that is, Eris. Maximum overdrive time, then, at long last. Either way, I'm just saying, let's give it a name. Steve's Comet. Something like that. Yeah, but you can give it a name now. Don't call it Comet C/2022 E3ZTF. Give it a name. Dua Lipa. Call it Dua Lipa. I like Dua Lipa. Call it Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa's Comet won't be seen for 50,000 years. In 50,000 years' time, when it comes around again, people are like, who the fuck is Dua Lipa? I got new rules, I kind of... People will rediscover the music. Listen to this ancient music. Jesus! Oh, fuck! Oh, God. That's when all the cars and shit come alive. I do remember it now. That's a very niche reference. I didn't know what you were talking about, and I definitely didn't remember that it was a comet that started it all. But good one. Give. Bim. 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 Woodung, 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 back in black! I hit the sign! I can talk good to be back, but I live you! I from my dude! Jump, bustle, 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 pound! I'm home and I'll never die! Got 9 lives! Cat size! Each and every one of them, I'm back! Yes, I'm back! If you can't tell, I do love the band. I know it sounds like I hate them, but... My parts? AC/DC were terrific. This looks hazardous. Gow, 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 gow. Well, what a little owl. Yeah, they put the rifling on the outside. Right then, where were we?
It should have a genuine turkey flavour. Oh, I didn't even know this.
He didn't even know it.
They're crinkle cut.
Oh, hello.
They're crinkle cut and they smell. This is going to sound absolutely insane, but they...
What was that cut there?
smell. This is...
Why did it cut? What did he do?
They crinkle cut and they smell. This is going to sound absolutely insane, but they smell like Warhammer. They smell like Warhammer paints. Back when I was a sort of a younger boy, a younger human being, I suppose. I used to paint Warhammer. It smells, definitely smells like some of the paints I used to use.
That's not a good thing.
100%, like the aerosol, you know, the undercoat, the white undercoat. It genuinely smells, like genuinely. I'm being very serious. Right, let's try it out though. First of all, it's very surprising. It doesn't taste like Warhammer, nor Warhammer paints. Interesting. The first one that I had wasn't very salty, but tasted very strongly of turkey. The second one I had was much saltier, which was better, but it didn't have as strong of a turkey flavour, which is worse. Wow. They're very crunchy. They're ridged, but they're so, like, yeah, super crunchy. Yeah, they're nice. I'm just not 100% sure what makes them gravy flavour. I'm not certain what I was expecting. They do taste of turkey quite nicely, but I don't know. Maybe it's a turkey gravy flavour. I don't know. I feel like it's a really hard flavour to capture, because gravy is just the meat juices, so turkey, with like veggies and roasting elements.
He's never made gravy in his fucking life.
There's a roast turkey anyway, really, in terms of flavour. You definitely don't want to smell the bag at the same time, though. That definitely makes it worse. These are nice. To be honest, they're actually probably slightly too crisp for me. They're like getting on for kettle. They're like getting on for kettle chips or kettle crisps texture, but with the ridges, which makes them a bit too hard. I'd like a bit shorter, a bit crisper, like instead of crunchier, if that makes sense.
It does. You know what? It does. What else are we going to review? We did crisps. Well, this is from Figboot.
Here with Figboot on pens, back again with another fountain pen review. You know, I tend not to review pens from brand new companies too much.
Hello! We've had a change in Rubik's Cubes.
I've had many new brands or companies request reviews. Typically it's from smaller artisans who maybe aren't quite ready to be exposed to a larger audience for a number of reasons. I've had someone reach out to me before saying, hey, I made my very first pen, will you review it? You know, I politely declined, mainly because if I feature something on my channel, I want to make sure that the company is set up for success. Is it a reputable company? Have they sold pens? Have they fulfilled their orders? Are they a legitimate business? Things like that. The last thing I want
cares
is
about
to
pens.
have a viewer purchase a pen I featured from a company and then have the transaction not turn out successful in the most basic of forms. I was recently approached by a new company, Ellington Pens, based out of the UK, who are launching their first product.
Old Major _
Something
just
they described
resubbed for
as
4
a luxury
months.
pen for the price of around $40. From their
Do you know what? I'm not having a go at the lad. I like this lad. I think he's a good lad. But I think he's had some surgery on his upper lip. It looks like he's got some scarring around it. And it looks like, because his lip doesn't quite feel natural. I reckon he had an accident. Maybe he came off his bike or something like that when he was a young lad, bless him. But he's a good lad. Integrity in a reviewer. That's nice.
Instagram feed, I had a pretty good inkling as to
scar
where
there.
these pens were being
And one
manufactured,
there.
but I was curious, so I agreed to take a look at the pens with the possibility
Pencon
of
argument,
doing
yeah.
a review.
Big
I had
argument
a
at
promise to
Pencon.
do so. On a side note, I was first contacted via Instagram by the company. A few weeks later, the company then contacted me with a different company Instagram account, letting me know the pens had been shipped to me and that their previous Instagram account had been banned. I inquired as to why it had been banned, but I didn't receive a reply.
Porn.
I did receive the pens, however, and I will be sharing them with you today.
Yes!
What I'm going to do today is talk a little bit about the company and their marketing techniques, go over the parts and features of the pens I received, discuss what I care for and what I don't care for about the design. I'll show some measurements, size comparisons, and provide a writing sample.
Fucking
Thanks
yes.
go out to Ellington Pens for providing the pens you will see today for review.
Now,
The pen arrives in
I'll
this
tell
very
ya.
simple box.
if you haven't seen this lad before, his handwriting for a pen reviewer is fucking shocking.
Inside, we have the box, and there is
Bob, mate, welcome. What is the point? Very good, Bob. Very good, Bob. Very funny. Very droll. Let me tell you something, Bob. Until you've been to PenCon, please try not to comment.
a small box of cartridges, as well as a card with a QR code that doesn't work. Now, I will give the company the benefit of the doubt with this code, which directs to the Ellington Pens website, which is not active. The landing page that they have online now just might be temporary, and their full site might not be active yet. I'm actually recording this a couple of days before their actual launch date. I'll test it again after the launch date. The company is launching with 8 different models, and I actually have 3 of them to show you. There is the black model, which is called the Stealth. There is this model here, which is called the Presidential Oath, which is silver in color with a gold-colored trim.
Fucking hell. The Presidential Oath. Calm down, Ellington Pens.
And then finally, if I can get it here out of the box, we have this one right here, which is called the Urban Hunter, which looks a lot like the design of a pelican with the black cap and green striped barrel.
Urban Hunter? That sounds like violent. The Urban Hunter
Nice
means
jump, Alistair.
they're hunting.
Vitabono just resubbed for 10 months.
Thank you.
May this sub go towards your next pen funds.
Thank you. That means that they're hunting the greatest game of all. Man!
As well as the solid gold colored trim. I'll give you a closer look at these other 2 models during the size comparisons, but for the sake of this portion of the review, I'm going to focus on the Urban Hunter. Now, when it comes to my reviews, you know that I like to provide a great deal of
PenCon
background
is real.
information about
PenCon
the
is real.
companies and the people behind the companies, how they got their start in the pen business. And
Yeah,
the
blah,
like.
blah, 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 blah. We're going to skip all
Especially
this.
for a brand new in features of this pen. In the video and on their website, they have a rather comical artist rendering of what the company claims is a design for an early Ellington prototype. There are several pen companies closely related to Ellington, and I have seen graphics on very similar to this being
That's like a kid drew that.
used by at least one of those other brands as well. If you look closely, this really appears to be something that was really like drawn with a mouse in MS Paint rather than
kid
a
did that.
stylus and a design program that most designers would use when designing a pen. I asked my contact at the company a number of questions. I was satisfied with some of the answers, and there were rather evasive or non-respondent in regard to others. In the end, I committed to them that if they would provide me with specific information, then I would commit to providing a review. They provided that info, and so I am upholding my end of the bargain and producing this review. While there are many questions which I think I know the answer to and have a gut feeling about the answer, I'm not going to bring up some of those questions because I don't have concrete evidence or proof of the answer. So
Let me just say something. The 2 reviews I've seen this lad do, there is some shady shit going on in the fountain pen community. Bob, I'm with you. Especially wait till you see the lad's handwriting.
I don't want to be putting out any incorrect or mistaken information out into the wild. I only want to deal in fact here. I don't need to get sued over a fountain pen review.
Yeah, alright, let's get to the pen.
There was a Kickstarter project for a pen called the Visionaire, which was a stock fountain pen available
Yeah.
brass. Most metal pens like this are brass. It does have a decent weight to the pen. As a reminder, this one here is the Urban Hunter model.
Urban
it does
Hunter.
resemble the Pelican M600, M800, or M1000 with that black and then the green striped barrel. But unlike the Pelican, the black portion of the stripe is not translucent. And I personally would not categorize this as a knockoff of a Pelican design. I feel there's aspects which look similar, but I don't believe anyone would mistake this pen for a Pelican.
Nice jump, Alistair.
Let's
Ted
take a look at the top of
Redwoods
the
just
cap.
resubbed for
It
78
comes to a
months.
rounded point. Then we have the most distinctive feature of this pen, which is the octagonal finial. It does
Finial. Finial. What I want to know is, will it post?
provide a bit of a unique look. However, it can be easily unscrewed. While I am a big fan of pens that will disassemble for ease of cleaning, the finial is a piece that I feel should be permanently affixed. I can't really think of a time when you would ever need to physically remove this or remove the clip.
The finial.
So I found that to be a little bit strange. Then we have...
Whoa, hold on. I heard a stomach grumble. Did you guys hear that? Listen up. Listen up. I'm going to turn it up loud. Listen.
Ease of cleaning. The finial is a piece that I feel should be permanently affixed. I can't really think of a time when you would ever need to physically remove this or remove the clip. So I found that to be a little bit strange.
I definitely heard a stomach rumble just in those last couple of seconds. Just listen close.
The clip. So I found that to be a little bit strange. Then we have the clip. I do find it to be rather stiff. It does take some effort to use in materials of varying thicknesses. The cap is straight.
Will it
transitions
post?
into the cap band, which has the name of the company stamped as opposed to engraved, which looks nice. Then there is a medium-sized step down to the barrel. The barrel is straight for a little bit over an inch, and then it tapers down slightly to a metal piece at the end. And then the very end is slightly rounded. The cap snaps off to reveal this stainless steel nib. I believe the nib is also manufactured in China, so it is not Bach or Yovo. And, to my estimation,
Obviously.
it's approximately in between the size of a Yobo number 5 and number 4. So I kind of think
Straight
of it
away.
like a 4.5.
4.5, yeah, but
It's engraved with an E, and I believe upon launch, the pens will only be available with a medium nib. I believe I saw that somewhere on their site or their Instagram feed. And here's a look at the plastic feed.
I heard another stomach rumble. Listen.
I believe I saw that somewhere on their site or their Instagram feed. And here's a look at the plastic
There
feed.
it was. Did you guys hear it? Listen close.
And here's a look at the plastic feed.
Right there.
The metal section begins with a ring, which
He
is
is
used in the
starving.
cooking
Get this
mechanism,
man some
and
fucking
angles up
crisps.
Until there's a stair step up to the remainder of the barrel. Even though this is a metal section, I don't find it to be overly slick, which is a good thing. The pen does feel decent in the hand, and you can feel the weight of the metal, but it isn't overly heavy. Now, I previously mentioned a couple of claims the video makes. Here is the first one. Now, I'm only going to play the audio and show a screen capture because while Ellington gave me permission to use their promotional video in this review, this portion contains some of the footage they potentially stole from National Geographic, so I don't want to show that.
Using my background in mathematics, I toyed with different dimensions, constructions, and materials until I found the perfect weight to comfort ratio. Blindfolded, I tested our first prototype against the most expensive fountain pens I could get my hands on and found virtually no difference.
I'll admit this is a completely subjective claim. It was compared to every pen he could get his hands on, and who knows what pens those were. I will say that the nib on this pen is decent. While it provided a nicer writing experience than I was anticipating, by no means would I describe it as incredibly smooth.
Yeah, let's
It's
get to the
fairly
point.
smooth.
Let me just
But
see, will it
the
post?
nib, their claim is
First pen that is perfectly balanced with both the cap posted and unposted.
Posted and unposted. Let's test
with
that.
the large metal piece at the back end of this cap. I find that using this pen posted significantly backwards.
Post it! It will post!
Claim that this pen is perfectly balanced with both the cap posted and unposted is categorically false. It is well balanced when unposted, but resoundingly not balanced when posted. And to claim this is the very first pen in the world to be perfectly balanced, posted and unposted is simply comical. I have dozens of pen in my collections which are more balanced than this model when posted.
Why would you take Fig Boot on and claim our pen is the first pen to be, if it's not?
So either the company has no idea what they're talking about when they're talking.
Oh, Stream Sucks. You did not see his review of the worst pen he's ever reviewed, which while it posted, you would not say that it was probably posted. Or, you know, anything about pens, you'd be like, this is barely posted at all. Tons wrong with the posting on that pen. Don't even get me started. You could barely call it posted.
About the pen's weight distribution, or they don't
get
care
to the
that it's
handwriting.
And a writing sample.
Let's go, Fig Boot. Wait, bit of music. We'll cut that. Here we go.
Size comparisons for the Ellington pens. First of all, I said that I would give you a closer look at the other two. This one was the Urban Hunter. This one is the Stealth. And it is black and also has...
Get the presidential oath out, please.
It has some engraving on there, so that stands out. That doesn't look bad.
He's got ink on his fingers. This is a penman. This is a penman.
Presidential oath. Now, I will say with this material, it is a bit of a fingerprint magnet, and then it might be hard to see, but the octagonal shape of the end on this particular pen is a little off kilter. It's just not quite in there. I tried undoing it and doing it back in there to see if it was just screwed in incorrectly, and it's just slightly off, enough that it would bug me.
That would bug me.
But that's what it looks like in comparison to the other two. And then in comparison to some other pens, here it is with a Lamy All-Star.
That's an all-star pen.
Here it is with a TWSBI Diamond 580.
Oh man, the TWSBI.
And then in regard to a couple of other pens, we have a Kaweco Skyline Sport.
Wow.
And then also a Sailor Pro Gear.
Sailor Pro Gear. These do all sound like vapes.
And then just to compare...
Do the handwriting. Here we go. His handwriting is awful.
For the Ellington. And this particular...
Take note. Capital E. These are L's. I. That's some kind of N. That's some kind of G. Capital T. O. I'm sorry, but that is a U. That is a U. That's a U.
The model is the Urban Hunter.
That is a capital R. Capital U, capital R.
This is a medium stainless steel nib. And the ink I'm using, since this is a UK-based company, I thought I'd use a UK-based ink. And that would be a Diamine.
That's a D?
Bloody Brexit. This is what the ink looks like. It's actually a really nice ink. It's kind of a darker blue, and then it has kind of a purplish reddish sheen to it. It looks somewhat similar to the Diamine Skull and Roses. I say it has a little bit more sheen on it and a little bit of a darker blue. And it also looks a lot like the Krishna XS series Pakaza as well.
All right, he did not write this. The Diamine Bloody Brexit. Can I say something about the pen community? I don't want to flame them. But if you're collecting pens for a hobby, I'm going to go out on a limb and say you voted for Brexit. I mean, if you're demanding a bloody Brexit, or are they saying like bloody Brexit? If you're saying bloody Brexit now, you're demanding blood. Like, which is it? How much am I looking to spend on a pen? I'd have to read the reviews. Either way, what I find fascinating about that man is that he is extremely knowledgeable about pens and ink. He loves it all. But his handwriting, if a child handed that in school, they would be told, no, no, no! Why are you mixing capital letters with lowercase? That is unacceptable. I wonder how much Brexit fucked the pen community. I'll be honest with you, I don't think I even have a pen to hand other than this is one of my kids' art pens. That's it. That's the only pen I have. We tried to find a black or blue biro the other day. Couldn't find it. Because honestly, ask yourself this. When was the last time you really had to sit down? Maybe some of you do. If you're writing essays, if you're still at school, I guess you got to write. But pretty sure you just type and then print, right? Or just email it into your tutor or whatever. But the last time I sat and had to write down anything at length, can't remember the last time. I mean, yeah, Dave, obviously you're a teacher. It's different. I'm saying for the average person that isn't a teacher and doesn't review fountain pens for a living, 10, I mean.
Nice jump, Alistair.
Winks just resubbed for 1 month.
Thank you. Help! Hello!
Чики-брики, пальчик-рики.
No chill, huh? Ah. Did he try to nade me and blew himself up? I did not shoot the nade. No, man, I thought he was closer. Damn, that was funny though. How is it they're so quick? People are so much quicker than me in this game. He was just to the right. I thought he was trying to loot his mate, but he obviously knew I was still there. I thought he would think, oh, these guys killed each other with a grenade. But he was like, bang! Like that. Like the way I would never be. You've seen me play. Fuck me. It's a big bit of armor. Holy shit. Oh, these fucking armors that are like 3 wide are the bane of my life, I swear to God. Hey, sister, soul sister. God, that lab was so quick, man. What else are we gonna review? Give me a thing. Has to be as banal as pens. What about... Alright, I got an idea. Hand coffee grinders? I think that would have quite a few.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm DJ Alex Brown, and in today's video we're going to be talking about one of the most important pieces of my toolkit as a DJ and business owner. This is gaffer's tape, also known as gaff tape or photography tape.
gaffer's tape, also known as gaff tape. I've not heard it called either of those things, in all honesty. So, Dan, that does have 90,000 views. But you know what?
I want to show you.
This guy, I already hate him, so I will watch this in a sec.
Sometimes, depending on the industry you're in. Before we get into the video, I want to give
This guy's a
quick
DJ and
disclaimer.
business owner,
I
so...
apologize if the audio is bad. My cat's chewed through my microphone wire, so I'm waiting for a new one to come in. And I apologize if the lighting is bad, because I'm in the middle of moving.
Lies.
So, not the best time to shoot a video, but it was the only time that I had time. So, today's video is made possible by
Yeah.
brand, which is Amazon Basics, with the top tier industry standard gaffer's tape brand, which is ProGaff. You can see it inside the thing there.
Gaff tape.
I have used ProGaff for basically the entire time that I have used gaff tape, up until, I would say...
I'll be honest with you, I've never heard it just called gaff tape. I've never heard it just called gaff tape.
A couple months ago, because I bought another business, which I'll talk about in a separate video.
He's bought another business.
And I had just spent all my cash on that, and I was going a little cheap on tape. So I said, I'll give the Amazon Basics a try. Usually it's not that bad. And it wasn't that bad. I don't think I'll be buying it again. The main reason is what's probably the most important of any gaffer's tape, and that's the stickiness.
Yeah,
So,
that's pretty core for tape, I'd
if you're
say.
not familiar with what gaffer's tape is,
He's going to show you.
gaffer's tape is a cloth tape. Technically, it's a type of duct tape. So there's a cloth on one side and there's an adhesive on the other. Now, gaffer's tape is designed so that when you put it on wires or use it to tape things together, that the adhesive does not melt or come off and get all sticky. Now, in practice, does that always work 100%? Absolutely not. There are many cases where I have had my gaffer's tape melt in the heat of the sun, and that does include ProGaff, which is what this is here. However, the main thing that is of most concern to most people using gaff tape is how well the tape sticks and how well it comes off. The point being that it shouldn't leave any residue, but it should stick well enough to hold cables down to the floor, for example, for a day while a wedding is going on or something. ProGaff is much stickier, so I'm going to stick it to my hand. And my hand is, we have natural oils on our body, and it sticks pretty
Making excuses for his greasy hands now.
well. The Amazon Basics
Young
gaff
man,
tape
my hand is
definitely
bone dry.
does not stick as well to a hand or a surface, especially if
Bone
that
dry.
surface is not perfectly clean. Now, if you used gaffer's tape before,
This guy sucks. What about this guy?
Something really cool. Well, actually, it's hot. But, well, it's not yet. Here.
Now, I'm a bald man. Therefore, whenever I criticize someone's haircut, I always get, oh, what do you know about it? You're bald. I would rather be bald. I would rather be bald than have that haircut any day of the week. God himself could come down and say, I'm going to give you hair back, but it's this lad's hair. I would say, Lord, I'm happy as I am, thank you.
This thing. It's a little pouch filled with a mysterious blue liquid and a little metal disc. When I
That's a
squeeze
boob.
that
That's a fake
disc,
boob.
something weird starts happening. There's like a front of light blue crystal material, almost like ice, emanating from that disc. And now, this thing is hot. What?
Can I just say, that lad's backdrop is so much better than mine. Look at that. Soak it in. Look at that. Look at that. He's got a different coloured light in every slot.
Yes, this is one of my favorite objects I've ever encountered. This is a reusable hand warmer. Reusable? Indeed, I'll show you how in a bit. But first, I'll be frank and would not suggest you rush out and buy some of these because honestly, they're not that great at their job.
Dan, you sent this, didn't you? This has 2.1 million views and 1.87 million subscribers. Listen to me. Listen to me now. I'm talking deep cuts. I'm talking 80 views, 40 views, 12 views. I'm talking margins of YouTube. All right? I'm not talking some lad with a fancy set and 2 million subscribers. What are you thinking, Dan? What are you thinking? All right, I'll tell you what. Lord McWilliams. Wait, not Lord McWilliams. TLE. Post it if you dare. You said I've got one. Where is it? Control C, Control V. Where is it? Shouldn't take this long. Shouldn't take this long. If you're going to go look for it, it's too late. I've got one. Can't copy paste. Are you a non-sub? You're a sub. Christopher Collects, a coin collecting channel. Now you're talking. 76k subscribers. Alright, now you're talking. Wow, he posts every day. This is a lot of views. 50p Hunt, book number 1. Book 2. £2 Coin Hunt, book 1. Book 2. Worldwide Coin Hunts. My first worldwide coin hunt. Bad pronunciation, worldwide coin hunt.
Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going through more of those foreign coins I bought online. So this is my third instalment, hunting through it. So it's just like a bag I bought from eBay of, I think it was a charity collection of coins. So I just sort of do a lucky dip and have a look through them. In the last video, if you didn't see, I found my first ever silver coin, which was a really cracking thing to find. I didn't even know until I went to do the editing, because I just generally have very little knowledge of foreign coins, so it's all in the editing. I use a website called Numister, I think it's called, which is incredibly helpful.
That ain't coming out.
But without further ado, let's start getting into some coins.
Let's do it, Chris.
So what we've got there, Netherlands. It's quite a neat design, isn't it? 1G from 1996. Is it Gulden? Gulden? Don't know. Pass. So we do find a lot of French ones. I think this bag's got a lot of French coins in it.
Un franc.
So that's Belgium 1 franc from 1972.
Only 35 million of those
There's
made.
the odd-shaped coins that I really like.
Another Dutch.
Having a run on the Netherlands.
That's 2 out of 3, mate. I wouldn't call that a run.
1972. It was a 70s one that I found last time was silver, but this doesn't look... I don't know, maybe it is. Fingers crossed anyway. That'd be cracking.
A coin is called a munt in Dutch. Is it actually?
We've got another one. Is that the same, but 1980? Again from the Netherlands.
How much is a gulden worth?
See if we can't get one that's not from the Netherlands.
Oh!
So we've got some Asian writing on that, so that'd be fun to decipher. One...
Looks like Chinese.
No idea. The lettering is more intricate, so it makes me lean towards Chinese. But I know Korea has got lots of...
No, they've got more circles than that. That's not... I don't think that's Korean. I reckon that's Chinese.
But quite a stunning little coin there. I really like this.
That's Mandarin.
There. Border, I guess. So I do have information that comes up on the side. That's from what I've researched.
Yeah, we saw that.
the year.
We saw that. Yeah, crack on.
Country.
Yeah, we know. We can see it. Come on, crack on.
Into.
France.
2 francs, our first French, 1980.
Liberté, égalité, fraternité.
Odd shape.
République française.
But it's got these
Français
on the inside, which is quite cool. There's a big one from Sweden, 2002. 5 kronor.
It said Taiwan on the screen? Where? Taiwan. Alright, but that is Chinese, because that's what they speak in Taiwan, isn't it? What's the language of Taiwan? Language. By the way, they changed Wikipedia. Has everybody else noticed? Official language, Chinese. He was asking what language it was. The Lampshade Lady. Hell yes.
Hello, I'm Isabel. I'm the Lampshade Daisy. I make lampshades, soft ones which come on frames like these, and rigid ones which are basically have a ring at the top and a ring at the bottom and card holding the rings together. Soft lampshade frames come in a variety of different shapes and sizes. For example, there's this which is called a straight empire, which as you can see has got a fixed gimbal fitting. This one
Gimbal.
one is also a straight empire, but it's got a duplex fitting which fits onto a shade carrier, and it's the shade carrier that fits onto the lamp. I also have this which is a bowed empire with a scalloped base, and that has got a reversible gimbal
Subscribe.
fitting, which is excellent if you want to be able to tilt the lamp shade so that you can use it for reading more easily.
That is good.
And then I have another one which is just a little one to show you a different style of lamp shade, but I have about 12 different shapes and they come in a huge number of different sizes. I can also have lampshades specially made for clients. They can be made with different sizes, and they can be made with different fittings, and the fittings in particular places so that they fit on particular lamps.
I find it fascinating, you know. This lady has probably spent her life in and around lamps and making lamps. And when you think about it, there's going to be people who are into pens, people who are into coins, people who are into lampshades, people who are into all kinds of things. And you may not be able to relate to her love of lamps. I can't. A lamp is fine. But the fact is, Isabel here knows lamps. She knows lamps. And honestly, she's been able to spend her life, presumably, she's got a shop there that makes lamps. There's too many people. There's enough people for people to say, what's your specialty? Lamps. What's your specialty? Fountain pens. Well, we're going to kill you and eat you, because now's the time. I mean, it's the end of days, so everybody put your hands up. What do you do? I'm a farmer. We need you. We need people like you. What do you do? I'm a miner. Like a digging in the ground. Yeah, I can find all kinds of metal, smelt it. Perfect. What's your specialty? Lamps and lampshades, especially those with a variable gimbal. What's that rope for? Hang her, eat her.
This one, for example, has got an American washer fitting, which fits onto a harp fitting on a lamp and has a finial which secures it at the top.
Slow down, Isabel. All right, you hit us with a lot of different lingo there. We want to learn something from this.
A harp fitting on a lamp and it has a finial which secures it at the top. Another thing I have are
wait.
American washer fitting.
Washer
which,
fitting.
Fits onto a harp fitting on a
harp
lamp
fitting.
And has a finial which secures it at the top.
Okay.
Another thing I have are candle clip lampshades which have got this little fitting which fits over the bulb. They're usually used on wall lights or chandeliers. They can come in 2/3 size like that. So
it's cut away on one side.
If you're using it is for a wall lamp, but if you wanted a chandelier one,
That's
I
for a
prefer
chandelier.
The actual full
Yep.
shade. Just moving on to soft lampshades. This is a plain or tailored lampshade. Which
Plain
has
or
got
tailored.
A self-trim, which means the trim is made of the same fabric as the outer.
Yep.
It has an ivory, silk, crepe, satin lining, which is really nice and it reflects the light beautifully. This one here is a false pleated
Not a fan of that.
So it has the dark lining and then the contrast pleats which have been applied.
Not a fan of that. This is too much.
A gathered lampshade.
Gathered.
As you can see, it's got a contrast trim. Again, it has got.
I'm saying that's a MILF lamp. That's a MILF lamp. Does she have an OnlyFans?
An ivory crepe satin lining. This is a
If she does, her pictures are going to be so well lit. So well lit.
a loose pleated
Only
lampshade,
lamps.
so it's more gathered at the
OnlyFans would be for the fan lady. This is lamp lady.
bottom and pleated at the top, and on this one the pleats go in both directions.
That
so
says
it's very
country house.
contemporary.
Cottage.
And this one here is a swathed lampshade. Now swathing works well where the lampshade has got the wasting, so that the pleats can go round.
Oh man, hold on. With the pen guy, we learned posting. The bit at the end of the pen is the distance between them. Those are called tines. And what else did it? What other? The nurdle, I think he called the thing at the end. Was it nurdle? No, not the nib. Those are called tines. The forks of the fountain pen are called tines. I don't need to listen to me. I've learned from the best. All right, they're called tines. You can look it up on Figboot pen reviews if you wish. She's hitting us with a lot of stuff here. We got finial. We got different kind of fittings, different gatherings, different. This is tough.
Wrap around the frame nicely, and as you can see, it's got pom-poms. And this one's got a.
Those are just pom-poms.
Reversible gimbal on it, so
Gimbal.
it can be used like that on the lamp. To make a soft lampshade, you start by binding the rings at the top and at the bottom. And as you can see, I've started binding this one just to give you an idea of what it looks like. You then fit the cover. This is a knife pleated cover.
All right, we'll come back to that in a minute, lamp lady. There's scavenging to be done. It's very relaxing. She's very nice. She does seem a little bit. I think we're reading into it because she sounds quite posh, and her name is Isabel, and she runs a lampshade shop. I mean, yes, I'm not saying the evidence isn't there. We're all saying she's kind of a Tory and all the rest of it. She might not be. She might be lovely. She looks very nice. I'll be honest with you. She's a catch. But I mean, obviously, I'm speaking as that as a nearly 47-year-old man. If Isabel was my missus, I'd be like, Isabel's fantastic. You know, she's great. She's very hot. And she's really into lamps. King Schools. All right, I'll have a look at this next. Hold on. Okay. This does look interesting. I'm seeing 1K views. I'm seeing 2K views. All right. Yes, this is getting a look. This is getting a look. Just saying, she could fucking pleat my gimbals. She might be one of those really, you know, sort of a treasure trove on this channel, says Heretic. Paperclip review. 999 subs. I'm liking this. Davinator has suggested origami.
Hey there, it's Reagan from Prima Coffee. And
origami dripper. 410 views. All right. Enough. Hold them. I'm not going to notice. I'm busy owning noobs in Tarkov. You'll have to wait. After this, and we've watched the other vids, if we need more, let's get more, okay? But don't go posting now, because I ain't going to read them. They're going to get lost in the miasma. I feel this is quite relaxing, watching these reviews. It's nice to see people who have a passion and a hobby. It's interesting because Figboot is clearly into pens, collects pens, has terrible handwriting, but this is not his job. Do you know what I mean? This is just his passion. He just loves pens. And I just imagine that something sparked an interest at a young age in fountain pens. He came to handwriting in school, and the teacher was like, let's say his name is Dave. Dave, look, I can tell you love pens. You are the only kid in the class who hasn't chewed the fuck out of his pen. Your handwriting is atrocious, but I sense a great future for you in pens. His name actually is David? How do you know that?
А, вот тут друган мой бывал, точно.
Hello?
ГГ, изи. Буду бить аккуратно, но сильно.
Are we cool, dude? Okay. Takes out a drink.
ГГ.
Nice job, Alistair.
Gold Jim Bob 98 just resubbed for 1 month.
Nice. I mean, this is not a particularly valuable backpack, but that's nice. Apparently so, Dan. What annoyed me most about the bloody Brexit thing was it wasn't even red. Now, where were we?
Fit the cover to the frame, pinning it all the way around, and I've sewn the bottom part of this one, but I've left the pins in at the top so you can see how it would look. And then just to show you the finished article, looking at the bottom, not at the top obviously, there it has its own self-trim. This is a rigid lampshade. Here is the starting point with the lining that's been laminated onto the special lampshade
Don't like that.
material, and then the cloth on the outside. And then when it's assembled, it looks like this, which is a plain one, and this one, which has been laced around.
It looks like the lampshade that a hunter would have in his lodge. Ashford. She's from Kent. I take it back. She's scum.
And this is the origami dripper. The origami dripper is a beautiful and versatile dripper that has a rich history and offers a unique sense of customization in both aesthetics and brew method. So this is the medium-sized origami dripper, and it is capable of brewing between 1 and 4 cups of coffee. So it's a great option if you're brewing for just yourself or if you have a few friends and family over. This dripper is made out of minoware, which is a ceramic making technique out of Japan, and the ceramic has excellent heat retaining properties. It has this really unique 20-fold design that encourages faster flow rate. It's also compatible with both conical filters and Kalita flat bottom filters. So it gives you versatility.
I'm a fan of conical. What I do is, you know the seam, the sort of stitched seam of the paper? I fold that over and then open it up, and that seems to stop it leaking. I don't know if it helps, but I've always done that. Don't know why.
In your brewing. It is compatible with most pour over stands, and you do have the option to purchase a wooden collar that can sit on top of a server, and the origami dripper fits perfectly inside.
Of course it does.
So the origami dripper is really unique because of all of the color options. You can match any aesthetic that your coffee setup may have, and for the brewing purposes of being able to brew with both conical filter and a flat bottom dripper filter provides a lot of versatility to your brew setup. The origami dripper is a great option if aesthetics are one of the deciding factors on the brewer that you're buying. So as I stated before, you can brew using both filters and you're going to get similar results but a different brew style. If you're using the Kalita filters, you're going to see that the ridges in the filters will line up nicely.
Now, is she wetting the paper because you're meant to do that? Or is she doing that just to show off how it sticks to the thing?
With the ridges of the brewer, when you rinse your filter.
I do not have a 3080. It was not gifted to me by the Yogscast. I thought it's a 4090 or something like that, isn't it? Can't find the box. It was not gifted to me by the Yogscast. Damn, if you don't know something, maybe don't say it, though. Just a thought. It is a 3090. It was not gifted to me by the Yogscast. It was given to me by Nvidia in exchange for doing some streams. Don't just say things, lads. Let's rein that in a little bit, rather than just say it.
Filter, you'll see that flat bottom that you get from a Kalita. Whether you're brewing with the conical filter or the flat bottom filters, you can grind rather fine because of that increased flow rate.
This is fucking boring. Who recommended this? I want to know what about these paper clips. Look at that red. Completely random review.
My name's Adolf Kareem, and today we're going to be reviewing paper clips. I love paper clips. I mean, they're clips. They go on paper, you know, and not a lot of people know. Well, I don't know if this is officially how you use them, but with me, I'll grab this black one. Nice contrast to the background, and we'll get you focused here. Right. But with me, you see this bit that pops out a little bit on one side? There you go. Right, so I find that if you whack paper in this side and then pop that around, Yeah, it had extra tension, and then next time it'll be on this side. So then you add paper to this side and pop it around, and it adds extra.
Has anybody not figured that out? Has anybody not figured that out already regarding paper clips?
Extra tension. Each time it's adding extra tension. In fact, let's get a piece of paper and I'll show you what I mean. Right, then got a bunch of paper. This is from the Stanley Review. Right, the Stanley Review is not a magazine or a thing, but basically if you do this, and then pop that other side out.
I'm allergic to this guy. This guy sucks. King Schools. Communicate like a pro at uncontrolled airports. Commercial pilot paying passengers. What is holding out?
You know, earlier we mentioned that if you want to fly as a commercial pilot, you not only have to meet all the rules for being a commercial pilot, but you also have to follow the rules for the type of operation you're involved in. Well, let's talk a little bit more about this.
I bet her name is Barbara. She looks like a Barbara.
You know, a lot of times a person gets a commercial pilot certificate, then they go out and they put up a notice on every bulletin board at the airport offering to carry passengers for hire. Maybe they offer to ride share, like an airborne Uber. Either of these would be considered by the FAA as holding out to the public to provide transportation for hire. Folks, you cannot do that. In fact, people who do this are exposed to getting in big trouble with the FAA, and oftentimes they don't even have a clue as to why. The reason is to offer to carry passengers or property for hire, to hold out to the public.
If you've got a plane like that, though, it would be hard not to.
That you will provide transportation. You must also have either an air carrier certificate or a commercial operator certificate, which we'll talk about in a minute, or work for an operation that does. Now, an air carrier certificate is called a Part 121 certificate because it's issued under Part 121 of the regulations, and it's an airline operation. Part 121 is airlines with an air carrier certificate. A commercial operator certificate is called a Part 135 certificate because it's issued under Part 135 of the regulations, and it's often referred to as an air taxi certificate. Now let's talk about some terms you're going to see in the regulations.
Yes, please, Barbara.
First of all, the regulations refer to a commercial operator, and that's the person or company. And by the way, the regulations
love that turn, by the way.
That's the person or company. And by the way,
she really draws the audience in. She's a good presenter. Look at this turn. This is professional.
Operator. And that's the person or company. And by the way, the regulations often refer to a
and by the way,
as a person.
I'm all ears.
For compensation or hire carries persons or property other than as an air carrier. In other words, a commercial operator is the business that operates an air taxi certificate, and it would not be an air carrier because air carriers are the airlines. So normally we're talking about smaller airplanes like this Caravan here. Now another term that they talk about in the regulations
the walk-in.
Is
smooth.
To operate.
Look at that walk-in.
Talking about another term that they talk about in the regulations is to operate, and the FAA says that that refers to causing an aircraft to be used or authorizing its use. In other words, that's the company that operates the certificate.
One thing I would like her to do is spend a little less time doing this and a little more time doing this. But her turnbacks are excellent.
And finally, the FAA uses the term operational control. Once again, that's the company operating the flight, not necessarily the commercial pilot. And you want to know, the FAA makes a huge deal out of being clear about who has operational control over a flight. That's how they determine who is responsible for violations of FAA regulations and whether an illegal charter is actually taking place.
Thank you, Barbara.
Operational control of a flight means exercising authority over...
What else have you got for us? Look at these guys. This looks old. Is that Barbara?
Now, where do you want to look during the flare? It works best.
These videos are side by side. Martha! Martha King. She's a Martha. We were talking this afternoon. About the fact that my daughter's got a friend called Martha. She's a Martha.
To look just to the left of the cowling, rather than trying to look directly over the nose. Besides, if you're trying to look over the nose, there's a really good chance that you'll land on the nose wheel. You'd hate that, and so would your airplane. You want to look about as far ahead as if you were driving a car at the same speed. If you look too close in, you'll distort your view of the runway and you'll tend to flare too high.
Flare.
Why? Well, when you look too close in, things begin to blur. And blurring like that is one of the signals your brain uses to tell you to flare. So if you're looking
flare,
close
I think, is to pull up, right?
You'll be too high when things start to blur, and you'll flare too high. On the other hand, when you look too far down the runway, you don't see the same detail as when you're looking at the proper distance. In this case, you'll tend to flare too low. You might even fly it into the ground. When you look too far out, you just don't get the cues to tell you when you're too low. So you want to look in the middle distance, beyond the point where moving things tend to blur, but close enough in that your brain is getting good information to work with. But just as when you're driving a car, keep your gaze moving around and don't fixate at one particular distance. Another thing, once you start to flare, you should never push the elevator control forward. If you flare too high, you can maintain your climb pitch attitude and ease the airplane down by adding just a little bit of power. But if you move the wheel forward, you run the risk of landing hard on the nose wheel, and that's almost certain to cause damage. The main wheels are for landing on.
Come on, Martha, teach me.
Now, the round out or flare is a slow, smooth transition from approach attitude to landing attitude. It's a transition from descending into the runway at the approach angle to flying level just above the runway at minimum speed.
Right.
The landing attitude will be a nose-high, slow flight attitude. In fact, you'll be in slow flight for a few moments. By the way,
because when you come down, you come down on two wheels, not on your nose wheel. Because it'd be mad to come down on one wheel when you could come down on two. You're better off coming down nice and slow on two wheels and then bump down onto the first wheel, onto the solo wheel. Otherwise, all the weight of the plane and everything, and the momentum is coming onto one wheel. Why not use two? Why not use two? Martha knows.
The slow flight attitude is about the same as your normal climb attitude. And this is the primary reason that you practice slow flight at altitude, so that you get the feel of the controls and the picture in your mind of the proper attitude for the flare. Many pilots think of the flare as a two-step process. The first step is stopping the descent and flying level just a few feet above the runway while slowly closing the throttle. And the second step is gradually easing back on the wheel as the speed decays so that you transition to a climb attitude. As you transition to a climb attitude, the airplane will have more drag and will want to descend. Once you're in a climb attitude, you can let the airplane gently touch the ground. Now, these two steps...
So, King Schools is...
Nice jump, Alistair.
Thank you.
Stan is just resubbed for 76 months. Duckass.
Any tips?
Nice jump, Alistair.
A Tribeca-led stretch just resubbed for 17 months. Evening Flax. Any tips for anxious newly expecting dad?
I had a nice message the other day, actually. Tribe called Stretch. From someone who had been here about a year ago, asking a very similar question. And I think it's absolutely fair enough for potential new dads to go to an existing dad who's been there, done that, and ask for advice. And I'm always happy to give it. So, absolutely. I'd say a few tips. Number one, be there for your partner. And understand that, especially if they're breastfeeding, it's incredibly draining. It's very hard work. And you are second in everything to the baby, as I'm sure you're aware. When the baby comes along, both of your primary concerns is the baby. And you just have to make sure that you are not adding any extra pressure, that you're not complaining. You are there for your partner. As you should be, and as you will feel compelled to if you're any kind of decent person. I'm sure you are, because you watch this fabulous Twitch channel. Your job now is the baby. Your absolute world is the baby, and everything you do is for them. As they get older, you can care less and less, trust me. I haven't spoken to my kids in weeks. But early on, the baby, just... And nothing they do is anything other than pure instinct. They're like a tiny little chemical reaction of an animal. There's no thought to it. So it's hard work. The only other human being you're going to be dealing with of any sense is your partner. And so the two of you have to stand as firm as a rock. You have to understand, as firm as a rock together. You are a unified front against this struggle. And it is a struggle. The first year or two is very hard, with a ton of rewards that will change your life and change your opinion about people forever. So it is 100% the best thing I ever did. I do not, and I could never imagine regretting a single second of having kids. I absolutely love it. So yeah, I loved having kids, and I enjoy now the fact that we can enjoy stuff together at a level where it's not just goo goo gaga and all that kind of stuff, which is great. It is great, and I miss holding a baby. And every chance I get, I'll hold a baby because I love babies. They're fantastic. But it is hard work. So just bear in mind, do not fall out with each other. It's going to be hard.
Just resubbed for 18 months.
Thank you. You're going to be short on sleep. Just make sure you make a commitment to each other and say, whatever happens, we're both going to be tired. We're both going to be exhausted. At times, we're going to take it out on each other, but it is not personal. We're both under stress. As long as we both understand that, we can just get on with doing this amazing job. That was a big thing for me. In practical terms, you're not going to sleep much. Sleep when the baby sleeps. Very old advice. Absolutely 100% accurate. You'll waste a lot of money on things like colic powder and all that kind of crap. I won't be able to talk you out of it. It is what it is. A muslin cloth is about the best thing you could ever have. You put the muslin cloth over your shoulder anytime you are near a child. Keep that child on you. Keep that muslin on you. And the baby as well. You cannot spend too much time with the baby. They love to see you. They're happy anytime you're around. They feel safe anytime you're around. They love the smell of their parent and everything like that. So don't ever think you're smothering them or anything like that. If you are smothering them, literally, don't do that. That's really bad. But yeah, in general, I would say it is a ton of fun. It's a lot of hard work, but I don't regret a single second of it. Hello, Ben. But yes, the first year is the toughest. The first year is the toughest. But just honestly, that you'll get through it. There's no advice I could give you that you're gonna remember in the heat of battle. Just be there for each other. I think that's the most important thing. And
nice job,
take advantage.
Han 46 just subscribed.
Thank you. Take advantage of any older relative who offers to take the baby off your hands. Take that chance. Was that at me? Damn! Loved if we got that guy, but I don't think we did. This fucking player scav killed me. What's happening to these player scavs doing that? Do I think a hand grenade would blow the floor out of an apartment block? So, I don't know if you are aware of how shit a fucking hand grenade actually looks. This is a video of a hand grenade exploding. Alright, are you watching?
Big deal here. A female naval officer that we thought was going to frag us and shit. Whoa! I've never been part of the press club. I was of it. 145 pounds.
That's 3.
So watch this.
I used to be 145 pound twig in middle school and high school.
Education in the regular.
That's it. Not very impressive, is it?
Education in the regular.
The thing is with a grenade, if you ever look at them, there's a reason that they've got these seams on like something like this, which is like a pretty classic looking grenade, is that what's meant to happen is the explosion rips apart, and obviously these weaker parts break first, and then these chunks of metal go flying out at high speed and go into people and kill them. So whilst a grenade is very dangerous, I mean, I wouldn't want a fucking grenade thrown near me. It's literally like a shotgun blast of very big chunky shrapnel. But equally, there are tons of stories about grenades going off like next to someone and they get the blast and they're, you know, they're a little fucked up, but none of the shrapnel gets them because it's like not an exact weapon, is it? It's literally goes flying, these bits of metal go in all directions. So imagine if it lands on the ground, maybe this bit flies just over my head. You know, all the other bits go in all directions, but it doesn't sort of, none of the bits get me. A VOG, which is, these are actually very small. If you've ever, I've looked at pictures of them on the line, online. They're very small grenades, but these bands, same deal. You'll get shrapnel going in all directions, and the point is, they sort of, it's about the shrapnel and all that. Stick grenades, like the German, what is it called, the Sturmhandgranate or something like that. The reason they had a handle on it was to make it easier to throw. The Americans actually in World War II and World War I experimented with making a baseball-shaped grenade because they said, well, our people play baseball. It should be easy to make a baseball-shaped grenade, and then we can just get them to chuck it, and they'll be able to chuck it with much more accuracy and distance and all the rest of it. So, no, I don't think so, Stanis, because the thing is, it is still an explosion, and what you're killing the fish with a hand grenade fishing, is the shockwave stuns them and they float to the surface. It kills them or stuns them. So that's why. I mean, if you look at a flash grenade, this is obviously, there's not the same markings on this for shrapnel. In fact, you don't want shrapnel from a stun grenade. You want it to just go bang and for there to be a lot of light and all the rest of it. So this is, I mean, I assume it's still possible to kill someone with a stun grenade. If you put it next to their head, it's still an explosion. But essentially, if we're in a room and you throw a stun grenade in, I mean, I'm sure some little bits might get in my eye if I'm unlucky and all the rest of it, but this is not a lethal. You're not going to throw this at someone with an intent to kill them. This is not what you'd use. You'd reach for something that was more chunky. I mean, blank rounds can kill people. It doesn't mean it's a lethal weapon. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you're not throwing a stun grenade at someone to kill them, unless they're on 1 health and you're playing CS:GO, of course. So that was shit. I'm sick of King Schools, but we need something along these lines. Think of another thing that we could look at that could be reviewed. We've done quite a few things. Do you think anyone's done a review of like coffee mugs? Coffee mug review? Reusable cups. I tested every fellow mug so you don't have to. Coffee expert guesses cheap versus expensive coffee. Best travel and outdoor mug. Vegan freaks out when he realizes he just ate cheese. These are not ticking many boxes. Here we go. Hang on a sec. This is looking more like it.
I'm Melinda with BeanHoppers.com and the Opinionated Coffee Reviewer. I'm here to give you another opinion about a coffee product. And today we're talking about the Burnout Travel Coffee Mug that was created by scientists to keep your coffee at an optimal...
First of all, scientists? I don't trust them either. Carry on.
Drinking temperature.
Wait, what did she say her name was?
Hi, I'm Melinda with BeanHoppers.com.
Melinda?
Hi, I'm Melinda with BeanHoppers.com.
Melinda.
Selling this product. So I have nothing to lose, but I wanted you to learn about it and so you can form your own opinion if it's going to be the right product.
Do your research. Exactly, Melinda.
So, let's get started. So I've had the Burnout Travel Coffee Mug on my Amazon wish list for over a year because I didn't want to spend I think it was like $79 for
Who does?
a coffee mug.
Yeah.
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 I'm not kidding.
I know.
For real.
Well.
So I knew that I had to have somebody else buy it for me as a gift because I wasn't going to buy it myself because it's just too much money to spend on a coffee mug. But I was really excited about the idea behind what it says it can do. So let me tell you a little bit about the product. It was created by rocket scientists and they found a way
Hold on.
to keep the coffee at a drinking temperature for a very long time. And they say that their optimal drinking temperature is...
She's my age. This lady is in her 40s. Reading glasses. I feel you, Melinda.
between 150 and 135. For me, I am a complete temperature wimp. I like my coffee on the cooler side. 135 degrees, perfect. So that's...
What is that? What is 135 degrees? Because she's American, she means Fahrenheit, right? What's that? $57?
That's why I wanted the mug so badly, because I've got to wait like 15 minutes before I can really enjoy my coffee because it's too hot. It burns my mouth. You know, some people like it extra hot, and I'm the one saying, how can you do that? It hurts, right? So anyway, I was excited, got the product for Christmas.
Naughty. Naughty. I'm trying to entertain people here and eat Bombay mix and watch a vid. You want me to take the time to Google it? I can do that. If you want red hot entertainment non-stop coming out of your screen, shut the fuck up. People in chat might know. Chill. And look at that. People did. They didn't have to Google it. They knew. Look at T. They knew. -3 divided by 2. Knew all that shit. I don't know that shit. Who fucking deals in Fahrenheit? They're one country in the fucking planet. Who cares?
Christmas. Thanks to my husband. Thank you.
She's married.
And I've tried it out a few times, and it does what it says. For real. Another thing that the burnout mug claims to do is to take it down to that temperature in about 10 minutes. So what I did was I compared the burnout mug, a regular coffee mug, and a stainless steel thermal travel mug. And so I timed it. I put the water in at 180 degrees in each thing. And as soon as it hits the cup, it obviously reduces the temperature right away because it's a cold mug. Now you can heat this up as well as any cup and keep your coffee hotter for longer. So the same thing with this. If you heat it up before you pour the hot coffee in it, it will keep your coffee at a higher temperature than that 135. That's perfect for me. So I timed it 15 minutes. The burnout mug was at 135 degrees. Right when it hit the mug, it went down to 141 immediately.
Wow.
So the coffee mug immediately went to within 15 minutes. It was at 125 degrees. And so for me, that's okay. I like that. 125 to 135, perfect. For most people, 125 is a little cool, but that's about how long I usually wait. And then the stainless steel travel mug at 15 minutes was still at 160 degrees. That's really hot. Now, some people really like their coffee hot, like I said. And if that's you, you would probably prefer the standard travel mug because it's going to keep it super hot. But this so this was 135 and this was 160 after 15 minutes. 30 minutes, same, 134, went down by 1 degree. The mug was I got my notes over here, sorry, I'm kind of cheating, I'm looking at my notes. The mug was at 30 minutes, 113 degrees.
Oh, forget about it.
No one's going to drink it that
No one's going to drink that.
I just go warm my cup up because I drink it really slow.
I'll be honest with you, cold tea I don't like. Cold coffee don't bother me. Cold coffee don't bother me. Like, I don't know if it was because, and this is going back to the kids thing again, you make a cup of tea or coffee, you're not going to finish it before you've had to do some shit and come back to it. Now, at the time when we had both our kids, because we weren't sleeping much, I was drinking a lot of coffee. I used to drink a lot of coffee. I didn't used to drink much tea. I used to drink a lot of coffee. When I had the heart trouble a few years ago, I stopped drinking coffee because I was worried the caffeine was going to fuck with me, and I started drinking more tea. Now I hardly ever drink coffee. Handful of cups a year. Genuinely, like 2-3 cups a year. But I never minded cold coffee. Tea, if it gets to middling temperature, it's done. That's it. Down the sink. Coffee, I could drink it basically from hot all the way to cold. No problemo. Because I don't mind it. Cold coffee. Iced coffee, no problem. The flavor, the texture of it almost, is good throughout. It doesn't bother me at any temperature. It's like too hot, you know, like that. Yeah, I'm waiting for it to cool down to a reasonable level. But it can go from hot all the way down to cold. That whole spectrum done trouble me.
And favorite, the travel mugs.
She's a very particular lady, Melinda. Very particular lady. She wants it to be a certain temperature. And she was like, it dropped by 3 degrees. Now it's undrinkable. So it's got to be like just down to a certain temperature. That temperature, and if it drops below that, big trouble for Melinda.
Stainless steel travel mug after 30 minutes. Still went from 160 to 154. That's still hot. So, yeah, that's...
What's your conclusion, Melinda? Now, you've put a big build up there. I want a conclusion.
54. That's still hot. So yeah, that's keeps it really hot. How an hour later? 134. Same, an hour later. That's amazing. I've never seen that. Then the coffee mug is obviously undrinkable after an hour.
No,
room temperature.
Melinda,
Freezing.
Melinda, no.
But an hour later, this was still at 145. So that's a long time to wait to drink your coffee.
I like her. I like her a lot. That little chuckle there was really funny.
Later, this was still at 145. So that's a long time to wait to drink your coffee. So that's what I did.
She like cut it because she was laughing. She's in mid laugh and she cuts it.
Coffee.
And then wait, cut that bit. I snorted.
So then what I did was I actually chilled the burnout mug.
This is 75 quid?
Change, cool the temperature down just a touch. So it was just a little on the cooler side. So I chilled it with just cold, really cold tap water. And after about 30 minutes, it was still 132. Only a couple degrees cooler. Then it's optimal 134, 135.
Amazing.
So that it does what it says it's going to do. So
it does what
that,
it says on the tin.
What a great product. What a great idea. And it gets to that temperature really fast. And so you don't...
How are there still 4 more minutes? How are there still 4 more minutes? Right. I've thought of something. Wallet reviews. This might be quite high end. Look at all these people spending a fortune on wallets. The Extra Smart Wallet. I want to find some lad who's just in his fucking garage. I read that as Bodega. The Bottega Veneta. Did not expect this. Alright. Sell it to me, Tanner Leathers, man.
Is this Bottega Veneta wallet worth $650?
Sorry. How much?
Is this Bottega Veneta wallet worth $650?
What are you doing? Stop cutting it. He's cutting it open with a scalpel.
And the authentication chip. Here's the chip.
Is this a kink for some people or something? He just cuts apart a wallet?
No, not much is coming off. Inside has a pigment finish on top. As you see, it is coming off. Still we can see the grain, but for probably lining requirements purposes they used a little bit more finish. The outside leather is absolutely gorgeous. Hold on, this is weird. No way. This one is top grade for sure. Feeling it just looks real. Well, look at this. The plastic layer peels off and the bottom is absolutely crap. A coat of plastic on top of which seems to be like leather suede. But the description says 100% calf skin. When you say calf skin, I'm expecting a full grain top quality calf skin, which is what this leather looks like, but it absolutely is not. Definitely lose respect for Bottega's leather selection at this. This one was a surprise, a twist in the inspection. It's a bad surprise, kind of reduced my respect for the brand a little bit, but that's why we do this, right? To learn better. I see less than 1 square foot of that genuine leatherish material they use on the outside, which I don't have much respect for. The inner lining leather, which is actually a top grain calf skin, I think it's better than the outside they use, is about 1.5 square foot. So the leather cost for this entire piece should be about $10. It's a complex, unique design, very well put together. I would give it about $25, $30 to make the labor. In total, $35 to $40 should make you a wallet of this sort in leather and labor cost. I am very disappointed, negatively surprised by this outcome of the leather material choice they had in the outside of this wallet.
Wow. I'll be honest with you, I've had, this is my wallet. Let me show you my wallet real quick. This is my wallet. I've had it for years. It's a good solid leather wallet. Is it Mulberry or something? It's Mulberry. Mrs. F got it for me for a birthday present. I must have had this thing for like 10 years. It's a proper dad wallet. Look at that. That is a thick fucking wallet. Full of shit. Full of shit. My Q card. A library card. My vaccine card. What's this? My RAC membership. My Costco membership. Dad shit. But let me tell you something. This wallet, over the years, has developed this nice patina of wear on it, but the leather quality, it's only now, after a decade, is it starting to come a little bit of fraying at the top there. But I tell you what, honestly, this wallet has been superb. Roomy, perfect size for money, nice smooth finish inside. It's not massively expensive. It's not incredible quality or anything like that, but it's been a bloody good wallet, and I love it. It's just the right size. Fits in a pocket neatly. That's my fucking review. This probably cost 30 quid. Didn't cost no 650 beans. The thing is, I'll be honest with you, even though this wallet, I'm worried the stitching is actually going quite badly on the top end there. Gosh, that is just pure wear and tear. I hadn't noticed that. Oh, that's a shame. Well, my birthday's coming up. I'll message Mrs. F right now. I'll message the kids. No, I'll message Mrs. F. Birthday idea. I do need a new wallet. This one is fraying badly and falling apart at the seems a bit. Just a thought, and to give you some ideas. Same style would be amazing. Thank you. And I'll give her a little heart emoji. Here's a link to a nice $650 one. I would never want anyone to spend $650 on a fucking wallet. There's no reason. There's no reason. A suit? I'd consider that cheap for a suit. It's something you wear to show off, look professional, all the rest of it. Spending extra money on a suit, really nice pair of shoes, I get it. Sometimes you want to spoil yourself, you want to look your best. Having a really nice suit or a really nice pair of shoes gives you that confidence. It does me anyway. But a wallet? Well, they might be now, but it wasn't that much when she got it for me, I guarantee you. No, I don't care about watches at all. That lad had a big old backpack on. You cool?
Chicky bricky, punch squeaky.
You scav? Cool, cool, cool. Ooh! So, Sunday evening, I'm doing role-playing with Munt and the guys. We're doing a Cthulhu adventure. I will be streaming it. So, looking forward to that. Just had the reminder pop up. This is huge. 120 rounds of BS. Molto bene. Can't remember why, but I know you need these for something. Anyway. Rust RP most watched VOD of Jingle Jam. Fantastic. Well done all. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. Cheers for watching. Thanks for watching me queue for scavs and watch review videos. I love that. It's my new niche. Is watching very, 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 very low view count vids on YouTube is my favorite. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.